What's up, girl gang? Welcome back to the girls room. I'm your host, Clarissa. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the girls room with Clarissa. So I am doing something a little bit different today, if you didn't notice, and we'll see how it works out. But I'm filming in my living room on my couch because I feel like I can get a little bit better lighting given that my balcony is right here and shining some light in on me. But we'll see because it can get pretty loud. So I just have to make sure that I am getting my filming done before the animals start fucking honking my head off outside. So you guys can let me know what you think of this new setup. I am really happy with my new camera and the way all of that is coming along and the way that it looks. And I'm trying to think of a cute name for my little community that I'm building. I officially have 67 YouTube subscribers, which is so fucking cool because I think last week when I did my episode, I think I had 52. So I had one video, it was a short that went really viral. It's at like 50K on TikTok and 15 or 14K on YouTube Shorts, and at like nothing on Instagram because Reels is just, nobody knows how that shit works. But it was like such a dumb video and it just blew up. But on TikTok, it doesn't do much for me, maybe some visibility, but everyone's like stingy over there with their follows. And on YouTube, it got me a good amount of new subscribers in just a week. So hi to all the new faces that are in the girls room. If you're not caught up, my name's Clarissa. I'm your host. And here we dive into all the things from career changes to friendship breakups to makeup, beauty, hair, all the things. We're funny, we keep it real, and we talk about pop culture too. So all the things that you could think of in the girls room. My show was inspired by literally the girls in the girls' bathroom at a club that just hype each other up. And you know how it is if you're a girl, when you go into the girls' room at the club and you're drunk, it's just like you find all your new best friends. And also by Amanda Bynes and the Amanda Show, because she had a segment called The Girls' Room. So if you're a millennial, you know what I'm talking about. What? So if you're a millennial, you know what I'm talking about. I love Amanda Bynes so much. I talked about her a little bit last week. Sending love to her always, or as Gen Z does. This is how we do hearts now. We don't do this anymore. We do this. Sending love to her always because, yeah, I love her and I want her to know that she is loved. I still have not watched Quiet on Set about Nickelodeon because I just have seen so much and I think I'm kind of avoiding it. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it sometime. So anyway, welcome to my channel or welcome to my podcast. And I am really happy that you're here. So for today, I wanted to talk about things that annoy me. And I think they're kind of like niche things. So I started making a list because I observe really strange things. And my girlfriend always says I'm very observant and the things that I notice are weird, especially if I'm watching TV or something. I think I get that from my dad because my dad notices everything when he's watching a show, and he doesn't give many things a chance before he's over it. But I don't do that. I watch stuff. I like to watch stuff even if I don't love it, just to watch something. But I just notice so many things, especially living in Brooklyn. The things that people do are so fucking strange to me. And my neighborhood is predominantly not New Yorkers. And it's so obvious that they're not New Yorkers. But there has been something going on this week. I've seen, I think, 6 videos about 6 different women getting punched in the face while walking around their neighborhood or walking around the city. I don't know if all of these happened in the same area. I saw a couple that were NoHo, and I saw one that was in Times Square. Listen, nobody deserves to get punched in the face, so that's not the route that I am going with this at all whatsoever. And it sucks that women don't feel safe in walking around or even on the train. Someone just got pushed into the tracks at 125th Street unprovoked and unfortunately like is no longer here. Like nobody deserves that, period. Like, so I just want to make that very, very clear before someone tries to tell me that I'm victim blaming or something like that, because I am not. Just from me walking around my neighborhood, there is so many sketchy people in the park, under the bridge. I try to be like aware of my surroundings, and I've seen a few of the videos, and one of the girls that got, also, this isn't part of the things that annoy me. I just derailed there. But, well, I guess some things tie into it. One of the girls said she was in Times Square. She's not from the city, and she was on her phone trying to read her map and get directions, and that it wasn't working, and she was picking up a gift and she didn't know where she was going. And yeah, the service sometimes when you're like in the city, like in Times Square, like your map sometimes doesn't work. So she said she was like looking at her map and trying to figure it out. And even her being that distracted trying to find where she was going, she still somehow had the reflex to move when this guy tried to punch her, and he wound up punching her in the arm and not in the face because she was still aware enough to like move and see what was going on. And it's terrible that this happened to them, but I just feel like people forget where they are just because you pay an obscene amount of money to live here, and just because it's a bougie neighborhood, just because you live in, like, I live in Williamsburg. I live in like the most bougie, like whatever you want to call it, it's not up and coming, it's there, neighborhood. It's like Soho here now. Like we have the Hermes flagship in fucking Williamsburg. There's a Chanel store. Like it's crazy. And that doesn't fucking mean you won't get punched in your face. And people are saying, oh, you know, women should feel safe and this isn't right. 1000% women should feel safe and this is not right. But we still have to live in like reality and realize that this is still happening, whether it should or shouldn't. Like nobody should get pushed in front of the train tracks when they're fucking trying to commute to work. Like this shouldn't be a thing or reality, but it is. Mental illness is very real. Resources are few and far between, and you know, there are so many people now living on the street for many different reasons. Addicts, people that are mentally ill, people that got out of jail. Like there's just so many different things going on. You don't know. And honestly, sometimes I can't tell the difference between who's living on the street and who's not, because like they dress the same way. So like, I don't know, like I can't tell because sometimes the outfits are just the exact like same. So I just think like keep your head on a swivel. Like seriously, keep your head on a swivel. This is New York City. Don't be like the people that travel to foreign countries and forget that they're in a foreign country where they could go to jail for certain behaviors, whether it's being intoxicated, whether it's whatever. Like I can't, people that I know, people that I'm friends with when we were younger would go to like Mexico and like wind up in Mexican prison where they would be like extorted for money essentially and have to wire money because they forgot where they were and got so comfortable and sloppy and drunk and high and all of these things that they wound up in jail in another country. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not fun. Like, it's not fun to be in jail in the South Bronx either. I've been there. But well, I've been to Central Bookings. I don't know if that's the same, but it's not fun being in jail anywhere, but it's especially not fun when you are somewhere that you're not from. Like, you just need to be aware of where you are. I think like that's a thing that like Americans do in general, go to other countries and just act like complete fucking morons. And I've seen it firsthand and had major secondhand embarrassment. When I was in Italy in September, we were on a shuttle that took us to this restaurant in Positano. And that was like all the way up the mountain. It was such a cool experience. And on the way back, we took the last shuttle because we had a late dinner, and we wound up on the bus or the shuttle with this group of like 15 American girls and boys. And when I tell you, they were screaming drunk, so fucking obnoxious. I mean, like, I couldn't even hear my own thoughts, screaming their heads off so bad to the point that the driver pulled over and was like, get out here. Because I think this guy's head was going to explode. I was like so mortified that he was going to think that like we were with them. I think it was obvious that we weren't. We were a little older, and like we were like mortified and just all sitting in the front like, what the fuck? Like I was like, I thought my brother, I was surprised my brother didn't bug the fuck out, to be completely honest, because it was just insane and next level. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not in New York City, like at the club. Like, listen, I've been drunk and like insane and mental, and my friends have a lot of fucking stories about me, but I was like much younger, and I was like in the environment to act like a complete psychopath. If I'm keeping it real. Like, the way I used to party, like, it was totally normal. Like, you wouldn't even fucking know who was screaming and who was doing what. So I think it just ties into that. Things happen, and it's not that person's fault. It's just like a learning lesson, because it's very fucking scary. But it's a harsh reminder that like, you're in New York City, like you're in Brooklyn, you're in Manhattan, you're in Times Square, which is fucking nutty as it is. And you just don't know what's coming for you when you're on the train. Like, why are you walking next to the fucking tracks? Like, hold the wall, like literally hold the wall. Did you not see that story last week of that guy that like started beating up that other guy, and then his girlfriend started stabbing the guy, and then the guy pulled out a gun and got shot by his own gun, which I don't know if he survived, but like, that was on the train, and it was it was on one of the old cars. So the people that were on the train like could not get off. Like, you know how on the new cars you can like open the doors and go through and walk through all the cars. I don't know if you know that, but now you do. The old cars, you couldn't do that. The ones with the orange seats. So all these people, kids, were on this car where this guy pulls like a gun out, and they're all fucking down and hiding in the back. Like, people are just trying to go to work. Nobody gets paid enough to have the trauma that you experience before 8 a.m. on a New York City subway. Like, nobody. Like, I don't really take the train, and I don't have to, and I'm glad. But, you know, like, nobody should have to be this traumatized. Like, no wonder our nervous systems are like completely fucked. Like, you cannot walk around and be on your phone completely oblivious to the world. Like, you simply cannot, because you could get punched in the face. And it should not be like that. It really shouldn't, but like, it is like that. So I'm gonna need all the women of New York to just keep your heads up, because you really don't know what fucking psychopath is eyeing you and trying to do something potentially much worse than punching you in the face, because there are other things. And, you know, it's so scary. I like, many people don't approach me because I have such a big dog. And I love having a dog for that reason. But one of the girls did have a dog with her. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but she was walking her dog when it happened. But I'm going to use that as a segue into the things that annoy me, because one of the things that really, really fucking annoys me to my core is dog walking etiquette, or the lack of it. Okay? Now, when I tell you the amount of people on the street that are walking their dogs with their heads buried into their phones, I just cannot. Why is your dog on a 6-foot leash, 10-foot leash, 12-foot leash? I keep my dog on a very, very short leash. She does not like other dogs, and she does not like people approaching me. So I keep her on a very short leash, and I take up a minimal amount of space on the sidewalk. Why are you with your fucking dog? You're on one side, your dog is on the complete other side of the sidewalk. You do not see me and my dog because your head is so buried into your phone that you don't know what the fuck is going on around you. And you basically essentially walk into me. And the amount of people that like walk into me in general because they are on their phone and I'm not moving because like you need to pay attention to what you're doing. I don't mind moving out of the way if it's like a mutual, like, let's make space for each other. But when you're that oblivious and your head is that far up your ass, like, I'm sorry, no, you can walk right into me and feel stupid, because you can walk right into me and let my dog like bark her head off at your dog because you got way too fucking close. Like, have a little bit of discernment, have a little bit of like, I don't even, decorum. Like, I don't even know the word. Like, don't be, like, be self-aware. Like, I don't understand. Like, you do not own the whole fucking sidewalk, and neither does your dog. Like, it's just, like, bizarre to me how people are. Like, I really just truly do not understand it. Like, at all. It couldn't be me. Like, I try to be so mindful of just, like, everything, but and I'm not like the most self-aware person on earth, but I do have a high level of self-awareness, and I know that I do. And like, I know other people don't. Like, it's evident. It's very evident that they don't. And that just drives me crazy, because now if my dog reacts to your dog, it's not my fault. Like, why can't we share the sidewalk? Like, it's not that big. Like, I'm already taking up this much with my fucking dog. Like, we're staying in our lane. You are crossing over the yellow line. It makes me really annoyed. And like, also pick up your dog shit. I could rant about this like forever. I don't understand how people pay the rent that they pay here and they just leave dog shit everywhere. I don't get it. And then it rains and it snows and it's even fucking more gross. Like, I spoke about this before. I feel like I'm playing Frogger on the sidewalk. Like, it's diabolical, actually, to me, that you could leave your dog shit. And honestly, it's never little shits. I wouldn't mind this tiny turds as much as I mind the giant, huge ones. Like, it would be like me leaving my dog's shit on the sidewalk. I just don't get it. There's just no regard for other people. And sidewalk etiquette in general, like, this should be a rule of thumb. If you are 2 or more people and I am walking down the street, all 4, 5, 6 of you should not be spread across the entire sidewalk where nobody moves. Like, what is that? I'm like, why am I like trying to move like into the fucking street? Why are you taking up the whole thing? Or like, if you're by yourself and there's a couple walking, like, as a man, you should be single file behind your partner. Like, I feel like that's common sense. I'm just like so confused. Like, you should, same with the big groups, like single file, like a fire drill. Everybody walk down together and let the one person fucking get by. Like, I just don't, I find myself asking, where were you raised, multiple times a day? I really do. Because I know it wasn't here. Like, I just know it wasn't here. And I just simply, I just don't get it. It's just really insane to me. I hate that. So that's the first thing that annoys me. Sidewalk etiquette when it comes to dogs and people. Another thing that annoys me is the royal family's social media etiquette. You guys need a social media manager, like, immediately, because I do not understand why you did that to Kate. And listen, if Kate has cancer, I hope that she is okay and wish her nothing but well wishes. But to make her a sick woman go through, which I say if, because like, y'all just keep lying to us about what's going on with Kate Middleton. You are going so out of your way to like Photoshop, not good either. Bad Photoshopping happening. Bad royal Photoshopping. I mean, bad royal family Photoshopping. Like, the internet sleuths will not let you get away with it. When will you learn? I don't get it. Like, you're just like, you need new PR. Like, you need young, new PR from America, I think. Me. Imagine I did the fucking PR for the royal family. Like, I was the royal family social media manager. Imagine putting that on a business card, like, Clarissa Mahoney, Royal family social media manager, because you know that if you are the royal family social media manager, I feel like you could only be the royal family's social media manager and like nobody else's. Like you would be like inducted into the society. That's what I think. But like, what a fucking shit show this has been. I don't even follow the royal family. I watched like 2 episodes of The Crown, and obviously, like, the core memory I have of Princess Diana, unfortunately, was when she passed, and that's because I was probably like 5 or 6 or something. And the only reason that I remember this is because I didn't know that princesses were real until she died. Isn't that like crazy? And I just remember this. My godmother, Nancy, came to our apartment and she goes to my mom. She like runs in the apartment and she's like, "Oh my God, Princess Diana died." And my mom was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I was like, "Wait, who's Princess Diana?" And there's princesses. And then they told me who Princess Diana was. And that's how I learned of like a royal family. And I was like, oh my God, princesses exist and they're real. Like, could I be a princess? And you know what? I could be a princess if I was Meghan Markle. I mean, she proved that you could be an American actor and be a princess. So like, that's pretty cool. And I know like Meghan Markle there's mixed reviews on her. And I don't know enough to like really comment, but like, yeah, so that was my first introduction to the royal family. And then I watched like I think 2 seasons of The Crown in COVID, but I went back to work and everything opened back up and you really got to pay attention to that show. But it was phenomenal what I did watch. I think I'm going to give it another try. But anyway, the royal family needs a new social media manager because the photoshopping and the weird fucking narratives that they put out, I just feel like probably added so much stress to Kate that she did not need if she's going through a cancer diagnosis. Like, are you people okay? Like, spend the money and get your shit together. Get some new people in there. Get some young blood in there. It's probably some like 80-year-old fucking person trying to figure out the Photoshop. And the lengths that we are going to create the deep fakes. Like, it's just too much. Why can't you just tell everyone that she's sick? I don't get it. Like, it's not going to be private. I know that they have kids, but like, it's not going to be private. It's just not. You're the royal family. I just need you to get real about who you are and like conduct yourself in a proper manner. Next one is also kind of like niche. So I've been watching Sex and the City from the beginning. I love Sex and the City, and I've watched it over the years, like randomly, like just like if it's on, because like always plays like old episodes, and I'd watch it, and they're so digestible, the episodes, because they're like 30 minutes, so they're so easy to get through. But rewatching it as a 34-year-old woman is so much fun because I watched it when I was way too young. Like I was like 12, and I'll never forget my aunt used to work at a nutritionist office and a lot of celebrities went there, and I told her that I loved Sex and the City, and she was like, "Who's your favorite character?" And I was like, "Samantha," and obviously, and for my birthday, it was my 12th birthday, Kim Cattrall was a patient at her job. And like I said, a lot of high, like celebrities and stuff apparently went to this doctor. And she got a signed photo of Kim Cattrall for me that said, "Happy birthday, Clarissa. Love, Kim Cattrall." And it's framed at my mom's house still. And I remember when she gave it to me, my dad was like, "Samantha's your favorite character?" And I was like, I mean, she carried Carrie didn't carry the show. Samantha carried the show. So watching it as an adult has been cool because I have such a different perspective on it. Like Charlotte was so annoying and judgmental, which I guess we all knew that, but like just rewatching it was like, would she even be friends actually with this group of women? I just don't know. And I'm kind of like analyzing her. Like she is super judgy and conservative and like kind of opposite of all of them. Like even though some are more reserved than others, they're all kind of like, I don't know the right word. They're not as like straight edge, I guess, is like the word that I'm looking for. Um, but yeah, she's super annoying. Obviously, she's stunning and gorgeous, but super annoying. Samantha, literally queen of everything. Super closed off, obviously. Super closed off, obviously. Extremely sexual and forward, as we all know. But like, we just love her so much. I just, she was like the epitome of like cool to me, which I don't know what that says about me. But like watching the episode where Carrie and Berger break up and they go to bed, like the club bed, and she's like, Samantha Jones, VIP. Like, I manifested that life for myself because I was in all the spots when I was a little younger. And I don't really do that anymore, but I always had like all the plugs. Like, I knew everyone and I looked good. And like, that's Samantha Jones. Like, I don't know. Well, obviously not Samantha Jones, but the way she like lived her life partying, not all the sexual stuff, but like just the way she carried herself, her confidence, I just thought was like the epitome of an independent woman, almost too independent because she just never wanted to like actually commit to a relationship until she did. But I just loved her. Carrie, super fucking annoying. Like, how annoying is Carrie Bradshaw? I just never realized it. Like, how unself-aware she is. Like, she was like bitching to Miranda about some dude. Like, Miranda just gave birth to a baby, hadn't slept in like a week, and Carrie's like blowing up her phone, bitching about like some guy. I just can't. And all of the men that were like with her just were never for her. She was always like a desperado. Like, Berger was terrible. Aiden was not for her. And obviously he came back in the new one, but like, he was never for her. Big was truly the one for her because she was just as fucking chaotic as Big. So like, that was definitely the perfect match. And then Miranda, I love Miranda. She was such a bitch and so mean to Steve, but like, the character was just such a well-rounded character, and they really ruined her and Just Like That, the newer one. They ruined Miranda and Steve. Like, making Miranda be this woman that doesn't know anything about anything, like, about just making her be like this overly woke person. Like, Miranda always knew what's up. Like, they made her into like this old lady, and they did the same thing to Steve. They made him into an old like deaf man. Like, I'm like, what did you do to these characters? Like, Steve was always the best, like always the best. And Miranda was always like, even though she was bitchy and unreasonable, she always was like smart and like well-established independent woman. Like, this show was like so ahead of its time with the way that they portrayed women being like strong, independent. She's a partner in her law firm, and then you fast forward to like the seasons they recently did, and they just made her into this like idiot who like just, I don't even have the words for what they did to Miranda. I really don't. It's just so stupid. And like, I felt like they were trying to like, because people just dig up things from 20 years ago, and they were trying to like right whatever their wrongs were, whatever wasn't like politically correct, and tried to make themselves look like more woke with this, with And Just Like That. And actually what they did was show that they still know nothing about anything, because everything was so obviously placed. Like, I felt like everyone was like this caricature of a person, like a stereotype. I don't know. It just like wasn't it. I'll still watch it, but like, because it's nostalgic, but I just hate what they did to her. But I went like way off topic here, because what I was trying to say that annoys me is that I didn't mean to do a character analysis. What they annoyed me with was that I hate the beef between the cast. Like, it truly annoys me. Every time I watch it, I'm like, why does Samantha hate them all? Why does Kim Cattrall hate them all? Like, in my head, she just simply cannot be the problem. She just can't be the problem. Like, I just love her so much. She was incredible. And it was honestly so shocking to me that she did one episode on the new season. I'm sure they paid her big money to do that, but I want to know like the real tea there with her and Sarah Jessica Parker. I know it was about money, but like, that's not like, I feel like that wouldn't be Sarah Jessica Parker's call, or maybe it would be. I don't know. But I hate that like Kim Cattrall, Kristen Davis, and I was gonna say Miranda Hobbs, Cynthia Nixon, like they're all still friends, but like nobody's friends with Kim Cattrall. That really bothers me. I don't know why. Because like watching it back, I'm like, wow, you guys, obviously they were fine at one point, but like in the movies and stuff, they were not fine. And like they did a really good job of like being fine together. That's some good acting. So anyway, another thing that annoys me is the lack of, what's the right word? The lack of like being a self-starter and like learning how to figure things out. Like people on the internet are fucking insane. Like you could write out in a caption every product you used, tag every store you got your clothing from. You could just where you got your jewelry. You can put everything into a caption or say it on a video, and someone is still gonna fucking comment on it. Where'd you get your shirt? 10 fucking question marks. Are you gonna answer me 10 fucking question marks? Like, do none of us know how to figure things out for ourselves? Because I fucking Google everything, or I use TikTok to search it, like as a search engine to like figure something out. Like, I figure out how to do everything. Like, why are you in someone's DMs asking them, like, I've seen influencers post, like, they get these DMs of people, like, asking them, or coaches, or whatever, people that are teaching something, like, how did you do this? How did you do that? And they're like, dude, you could, like, pay me for my time, or I'm not doing this with you. Like, I would never expect someone to give me their knowledge for free. And, like, stalking some influencers' comments and like blowing them up to find out where they got something. Like, in the age of information, can you not figure anything out? Like, are we just so lazy that everything has to be handed up to you on a silver platter? All the information that you need. Do we not have problem solving and critical thinking skills? I don't get it. Like, you can find fucking almost anything. Now, here and there, of course, it's fine, but people have these like expectations. And then if you don't tell them you're a gatekeeper, you're a gatekeeper. Like, yeah, I'm gonna gatekeep some things because like, I don't want everybody wearing what I'm fucking wearing or doing what I'm doing. Like, I get if people feel that way. And also like, Google reverse image if you want something. Like, I don't know. There's just ways to figure things out. And I just feel like people have gotten really lazy with actually trying to figure things out for themselves and on their own. Like, nobody fucking does it anymore. And it's just really crazy to me that like you can't do a simple Google or I taught myself how to do everything, how to start my podcast, how to use my camera, how to set things up. Like, I figured it all out by doing research and Googling and learning and teaching myself, and then partially just winging it, a lot of winging it, not partial. But like, you can't rely on other people to like teach you how to do like everything. Like, some things you need to learn how to do on your own. And it's better that way because then you like know how you like to do it, and like you fall on your face, you figure it out. But like, I don't know. I just think there's this like crazy demand that people expect other people, especially people with an online presence, to answer everything for them and give them every single part of themselves, which it's like, no, they're still like people. And they don't have time to read through like every single fucking comment on the internet. And like, usually they do tag every fucking thing. So like, can we not read? Like, it's insane to me that now if you like read or open an article, like it'll tell you like how many minutes of a read it is because people just like don't want to read. Like, even if I don't want to read it, like I'll just skim through it. But I don't know, it's just so funny to me. Like, everything has just gotten like a lot lazier, it feels like, in a lot of ways. And like, I don't know. You can figure some shit out. And sometimes it's just as simple as like reading a caption and like scrolling down, or going to the comments and seeing if the question has already been answered, or going to their page and seeing if they have a highlight or a playlist answering these questions. Like, do a little bit of due diligence for yourself. Like, come on. So those were, I don't know, those were some of the things that were on my mind that just like annoy the fuck out of me. Like, I don't know, they just really, really bothered me. And I thought like other people could like resonate with this, especially if you live in the city, or if you have a dog, or if you just are tired of people being fucking morons. So yeah, I thought that that would be like a good topic for today. I also watched Vanderpump last night, and like, oh my God, Katie Maloney, if you guys haven't caught up, well, by Sunday you should be caught up because that's when this will come out. Katie Maloney sleeping with Max was like not on my bingo card, and like I love Katie because she gives like actually no fucks, and I love that she's one of those people that can get away with a double standard. You know how there's just some people that get away with double standards and others cannot? I've never been able to get away with a double standard in my fucking life. But there are people that like are known, like, oh yeah, that she has double standards. She can do whatever she wants, but you can't. Like, that's Katie. Like, which is just crazy to me that she slept with one of Schwartz's best friends. I mean, it's not a good look, but I'm not gonna go too much into it. Maybe she'll talk about it on her podcast. But like, you can't be talking about Raquel and then you did that, babe. But I love Katie and I'm a Katie stan. And then Ariana's dog Maya, like getting into the food, like, and having to get her stomach pumped because Tom like locked her in a room by accident or something. I don't have the words for that. She said the vet bill was like $8,000. I would be in prison if Amanda ever, which she would never, because she would never. Like, she said that this dog has eaten laxatives, 500 laxative pills. I just don't get, like, is it the mess in the house that this dog is just getting? I don't know. But yeah, Tom is super cringe. I just like get the ick. Sheena annoyed the fuck out of me. Like, I need someone to talk about this with. It's like hard to talk about by myself. Brock also annoys me. He looks so cute with his haircut, but like, then he talks and wears like a blouse. And I'm like, I fucking hate this for you because it just doesn't look good. He's so fucking big and brolic, and then he's like in a blouse. It's funny. He looks like he's in a Shakespeare fucking play all the time. But what else happened on Vanderpump? Sheena kissing Schwartz like 12 years ago. I mean, I don't know. I kind of was like, whatever. It was like so long ago. I kind of understood why she didn't tell Katie. That was like Katie, Tequila Katie era. Like, it would have not been good. And it would have been really bad. And I get why she didn't tell her. It's so annoying that it's even being brought up like now. But I know I get all sides. I get Katie being annoyed by it, and I understand why she never said anything, because she was like, had a target on her head that during that season of their lives, especially from Katie, and Katie was like always in rare form. But I do love Katie, but I thought it was so funny when she got called out for being with Max. Like, her face, like she knew she just got called out. Like, she was like low-key kind of like laughing, and it was like really funny. But I think that was it for Vanderpump. I'm excited to see next week. I can't believe how far into the season we already are. I feel like it just started. There has been a shakeup with Real Housewives of Potomac. Candace left, which she annoyed the fuck out of me, but I also like loved her. I guess that's the thing with people named Candace. My best friend's name is Candace. Oh wait, I love you, Candy. Just kidding. Well, just kidding about, you know what I mean. So she left, which one of my friends made a good point. He said he thinks that she probably wants to divorce Chris and doesn't want to do it on the show, which is interesting to think about. So let's see, because she could definitely do better than Chris. I think Robin got fired, which good job. I'm glad she did. And the reunion's coming up, so I'm curious to see who else will be gone. I think Wendy's annoying, but Mia is kind of like carrying the show. Her drama is so fucking unhinged with Gordon, but yeah, I don't know. You just kind of have to watch it. I'm not even getting into all of that. But I think that's it. I think we are all caught up. Maybe I'll think of more things that annoy me and do this every once in a while. I don't like being negative, but like it's just a reality of life that you're gonna get fucking annoyed by things and you have to like address them and keep pushing through. So I guess this is a life lesson here. So if you do annoying things like bury your head in your phone, you may walk directly into another person, or your dog's maybe in danger. I don't know. Maybe there's a lesson there. Pay attention, be safe, be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings, keep your head on a fucking swivel to all my people of New York City and just in general, and just don't forget where you are. And with that, I will get into my high and low of the week. My low of the week is that I've been on social media way too much. I got that blocker for the apps and I've just been like ignore. So I'm having a rough go with my ADHD this last like week or two, where it's been like kind of paralyzing. And yeah, it's been hard. I've been like really in my head and really having a hard time getting tasks done and feeling really overwhelmed like very easily. So that sucks. It's been draining. I'm having a hard time sleeping. So yeah, I need to figure out some ways. I saw someone I follow takes like these magic mushroom chocolates that you can get on Amazon. So I don't know like how potent they are, but she takes them when she needs to focus, and I might try them. I'll let you know if I do. And I've been having some like stomach issues. My stomach's been hurting me a lot. So that's my low of the week. My high of the week is that I hit 67 subscribers on YouTube. And I had a video that hit 14K or 15K that got me those subscribers. So that's a high of the week for sure. And my other high of the week is that I just got a deal with Revlon, which is really cool. It's actually an influencer campaign, which I don't do many of those because I'm not an influencer and I don't have a big following, but sometimes I work with this agency and they hire out like smaller creators. So it is for my Instagram, which only has like I think 2,500 followers or something like that. So that'll be on my Instagram. You guys can check it out. I think it'll be up at some point in April. I have to film. So that was really cool to get sought out for that because they found me. And I'm excited to get that deal done. So yeah, that's my high and low of the week. I am going to close the episode out here. And as always, my email is drier than a motherfucker. So please, if you have questions, topics, concerns, stories you want to share, let me know if you want me to keep it anonymous. Just send me an email to tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. I love giving advice. If you have a situation that you're not sure how to handle with your job, with your friends, with your love life, with something. If you have a funny story you think people would think is funny to share, or an interesting story, or a lesson you learned, anything, please share it. Keep it cute in my inbox if you do. And you know, get to the point. Don't make it like an essay, because it needs to be quick and so that I can like read it. And yeah, let me know if you want me to say your name or not. And I would love to hear back from you. Please don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, engage, rate on Spotify, all of the things that you can. And I will see you next week for another episode of The Girls Room. I hope you have a great week, girl gang, and I'll see you later.